I tell you, it's got everything.
Has it?
Oh, yes, real class.
Really?
Real class. I mean, what I mean to say is, you play a game of tennis, you have a beautiful swim, they've got a bar right there.
Well,
by the pool. You can have a fruit juice on the spot, no extra charge. Then they give you this fantastic hot towel.
hot.
Wonderful. And I mean hot. I'm not joking.
Like the barber.
Barber?
In the barber shop when I was a boy.
Oh, yes. What do you mean?
They used to put a hot towel over your face, you see? Over your nose and eyes. I had it done thousands of times. It got rid of all the blackheads. All the blackheads on your face.
Blackheads?
It burnt them out. The towels, you see, were as hot as you could stand. That's what the barber used to say. Hot enough for you, sir. It burnt all the blackheads out of your skin. I was born in the West Country, of course, so I could be talking only of West Country barber shops. But on the other hand, I'm pretty sure that hot towels for blackheads were used in barber shops throughout the land in those days. Yes, I believe it was common practice in those days.
Well, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. But no, these towels I'm talking about are big bath towels. Towels for the body. I'm just talking about pure comfort. That's what I'm telling you. The place has got real class, got everything. Mind you, there's a waiting list as long as, I mean, you've got to be proposed and seconded, and they've got to check you out. They don't let any old spare bugger in there, why should they?
Quite right.
But of course it goes without saying that someone like yourself will be warmly welcome as an honorary member.
How kind.
Did you hear what's happened to Jimmy? What's happened to Jimmy?
Nothing's happened.
Nothing.
Nobody's discussing this. Nobody's discussing it, sweetie. You follow me? Nothing's happened to Jimmy. If you're not a good girl, I'll spank you.
What's going on?
Tell him about the new club. I've just been telling him about the club. She's a member.
What's it like?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's got everything. It's beautiful. The lighting's wonderful, isn't it? Did you tell him about the alcoves?
Well, there's a bar, you see, with glass alcoves that look out to under the water.
People swim at you, see, while you're having a drink.
Lovely girls.
And men.
Mostly girls.
Did you tell him about the food?
The cannelloni is brilliant.
It's first class. The food is really first class.
They even do chopped liver.
You couldn't describe that as a local dish.
Melissa!
What on earth's going on out there? It's like the Black Death.
What is?
Town is dead. There's nobody on the streets. There's not a soul in sight apart from some soldiers. My driver had to stop at a, you know, what do you call it? A roadblock. We had to say who we were. It really was a trifle.
Oh, there's just been a little, you know.
Nothing in it. Can I introduce you? Gavin White, our host, Dame Melissa.
So glad you could come.
What are you drinking? Have a glass of champagne.
I keep hearing all these things. I don't know what to believe.
What did you say?
I said I don't know what to believe.
You don't have to believe anything. You just have to shut up and mind your own business. How many times do I have to tell you? You come to a lovely party like this, all you have to do is shut up and enjoy the hospitality and mind your own fucking business. How many more times do I have to tell you? You keep hearing all these things, you keep hearing all these things spread by pricks about pricks. What's it got to do with you?
Come and say hello.
I say you've got to keep a sense of proportion. You can't allow people to get things out of proportion.
You mean you have to run a tight ship?
I think you do. Yes, I think you do.
Champagne?
Thanks. You see, I've always been an absolutely straightforward man.
I can see that.
Really?
I can see it in your face and in your stance. You're straightforward. Quite right. We can't afford to beat about the bush. We have to ask direct questions. What is valuable? What is of value? That is my question. What are the values we choose to protect and why?
Quite.
Quite what?
No, I mean, well, yes, exactly.
So beautiful. The mouth, really. And, of course, the eyes.
Yes.
Not to mention his hands. I'll tell you, I would have killed.
I could see.
But that bitch had her legs all over him.
I know.
I thought she was going to crush him to death.
Unbelievable.
Her skirt was right up to her neck. Did you see?
So barefaced.
Next minute, she's lugging him up the stairs.
I saw.
But as he was going, do you know what he did?
What?
He looked at me.
Did he?
I swear it. As he was being lugged out, he looked back. He looked back, I swear, at me like a wounded deer. I shall never, as long as I live, forget it. I shall never forget that look.
How beautiful.
I could have cut her throat, that nymphomaniac slut.
Yes, but think what happened. Think of the wonderful side of it. Because for you it was love. It was falling in love. That's what it was, wasn't it? You fell in love.
I did. You're right. I fell in love. I am in love. I haven't slept all night. I'm in love.
How many times does that happen? That's the point. How often does it really happen? How often does anyone experience such a thing?
Yes, you're right. That's what happened to me. That is what has happened to me.
That's why you're in such pain.
Yes, because that big-titted tart...
Raped the man you love.
Yes, she did. That's what she did. She raped my beloved.
We've got to make it work.
What?
The country.
You brought the house down with that one, Fred.
But that's what matters. That's what matters, doesn't it?
Oh, it matters. It matters. I should say it matters. All this fucking about has to stop.
You mean it?
I mean it all right.
I admire people like you.
So do I.
A bit of that.
A bit of that.
We're going to Sawley next weekend for the horse trials. The children love it.
Is your husband jumping?
Well, it's actually the horse that jumps. My husband is competing.
I've watched him jump. He's awfully good. Will you know what I mean?
You've watched him? Where?
Oh, somewhere up north, I think.
I'm sure the boys are going to follow in his footsteps. They worship their father.
He's not coming here tonight, then?
Well, of course he's not. He's busy. Down there.
Of course.
How's it going tonight?
Like clockwork. Look, let me tell you something. We want peace. We want peace and we're going to get it.
That's right.
We want peace and we're going to get it, but we want that peace to be cast iron. No leaks, no drafts. Cast iron. Tight as a drum. That's the kind of peace we want. And that's the kind of peace we're going to get. A cast iron peace. Like this.
You know, I really admire people like you.
So do I.
Mike Harlow. Simon Smith. Assistants to Mr. White.
You're Cynthia Harlow's boy.
I am, yes.
We were at Oxford together. Does she still love dogs?
Dogs are her life.
At Oxford, she was fully expected to marry a dog. She apparently didn't.
How sweet of you to say so.
But you do have a really wonderful figure. Honestly, doesn't she?
Why did we sit down? I've known this lady for years, haven't I? How many years have I known you? Years. And she's always looked the same, haven't you? She's always looked the same, hasn't she?
Always. Haven't you?
She has. Isn't that right?
Oh, you're joking.
Not me, I never joke. You ever heard me crack a joke?
No, if I still look all right, it's probably because I've just joined this new club. Do you know it?
We were just telling him. We were just telling him all about it.
Oh, were you really?
Just now, yes. Sounds delightful. You're a member, are you?
Oh, yes. I think it saved my life, the swimming. Why don't you join?
Do you play tennis?
I'm a golfer. I play golf.
What else do you do?
I don't understand what you mean.
What else does he do? He doesn't do anything else. He plays golf. That's what he does. That's all he does. Plays golf.
Well, I do sail. I do own a boat.
I love boats.
What?
I love boats. I love boating.
Boating, you heard that?
I love cooking on boats.
Anything she doesn't like on boats, she's been fucked on boats. That's what she doesn't like.
That's funny. I thought everyone liked that.
Does anyone know what's happened to my brother Jimmy?
I don't know what it is. Perhaps she's deaf. Or perhaps my voice isn't strong enough or distinct enough. What do you think, folks? Perhaps there's something faulty with my diction. I'm forced to float all these possibilities because I thought I'd said that we don't discuss this question of what's happened to Jimmy, that it's not up for discussion, that it's not on anyone's agenda. I thought I'd already made that point quite clearly, but perhaps my voice isn't strong enough, or perhaps my articulation isn't good enough, or perhaps she's deaf.
It's on my agenda.
What did you say?
I said it's on my agenda.
No. No, you've got it wrong there, old darling. What you've got wrong there, old darling, what you've got totally wrong is that you don't have any agenda. Got it? You have no agenda. Absolutely the opposite is the case. I'm going to have to give her a real talking to when I get her home, I can see that.
So odd, the number of men who can't control their wives.
What?
It's the root of so many ills, you know, uncontrollable wives.
Yes, I know what you mean.
What are you saying to me?
I went for a walk in the woods the other day. I had no idea how many squirrels were still left in this country. I find them such vivacious creatures, quite enchanting.
I used to love them as a girl.
Did you really? What about hawks?
Oh, I loved hawks, too. And eagles. But certainly hawks. The kestrel. The way it flew and hovered over my valley. It made me cry. I still cry.
Oh, have you met my wife?
How do you do?
This is Charlotte.
We've met before.
You've met before.
Oh, yes, we've met. He gave me a leg up in life.
Did you really? How exciting.
It was.
Was it exciting for you, too, to be given a leg up?
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm still trembling.
How exciting.
I think this is such a gorgeous party, don't you? I mean, I just think it's such a gorgeous party, don't you? I think it's such fun. I love the fact that people are so well dressed. Casual, but good. Do you know what I mean? Is it silly to say I feel proud? I mean, to be part of the society of beautifully dressed people. Oh, God, I don't know. Elegance, style, grace, taste. Don't these words, these concepts mean anything anymore? I'm not alone, am I, in thinking them incredibly important? Anyway, I love everything that flows. I can't tell you how happy I feel.
You married someone. I've forgotten who it was.
He died.
If you're free this summer, do come to our island. We take an island for the summer. Do come. There's more or less nobody there, just a few local people who do us proud. Terribly civil. Everything works. I have my own generator. But the storms are wild, aren't they, darling? If you like storms. Siroccos. Makes you feel alive. Truly alive. Makes the old pulse go rat-a-tat-tat. God, it can be wild, can't it, darling? Makes the old pulse go rat-a-tat-tat. Raises the ante, you know. Gets the blood up. Actually, when I'm out there on the island, I feel 10 years younger. I could take anyone on. Man, woman, or child. What? Ha! I could take a wild animal on. But then when the storm is over and night falls, and the moon is out in all its glory, and all you're left with is the rhythm of the sea, of the waves, you'll know what God intended for the human race. You'll know what paradise is.
What is right is right. That's what I say.
Exactly.
I mean, if a thing works, if a thing is right, respect that. Acknowledge it, respect it, and hold to it.
Hold on to it.
Hold to it. We're talking about principles. I mean, I met a man at a party the other day. I couldn't believe it. He was talking the most absolute bloody crap. His ideas about the world, that kind of thing. He was a complete and utter and total arsehole. A musician or something.
Stoddart.
That's it. Now, you see, these kind of people, they're an infection.
Don't worry about Stoddart. We've seen him off.
We've had him for breakfast.
Are you mad? Do you know what that man is?
Yes, I think I know what that man is.
You don't know what he is. You have no idea. You don't know what his position is. You have simply no idea. You simply have no idea.
He has lovely manners. He seems to come from another world. A courteous, caring world. He'll send me flowers in the morning.
No, he bloody won't. Oh, no, he bloody won't.
Poor darling. Are you upset? Have I let you down? I've let you down. And I've always tried to be such a good wife. Such a good wife. Perhaps you'll kill me when we get home. Do you think you will? Do you think you'll put an end to it? Do you think there is an end to it? What do you think? Do you think that if you put an end to me, that would be the end of everything for everyone? Will everything and everyone die with me?
Yes. You're all going to die together. You and all your lot.
How are you going to do it? Tell me.
Easy. We've got dozens of options. We could suffocate every single one of you at a given signal. Or we could shove a broomstick up each individual arse at another given signal. Or we could poison all the mother's milk in the world so that every baby would drop dead before it opened its perverted bloody mouth.
Will it be fun for me? Will it be fun?
You'll love it. I'm not going to tell you which method we'll use. I just want you to have a lot of sexual anticipation. I want you to look forward to whatever the means employed with a lot of sexual anticipation.
But you still love me.
Of course I love you. You're the mother of my children.
Oh, incidentally, what's happened to Jimmy?
Oh, I used to play, yes, as a girl. Loved it. My father was a marvellous player. Great smasher at the net.
Do you know Robert Cowley, Emily's husband, the show jumper?
I don't, in fact, know him.
He's a wonderful tennis player, isn't he?
He's top of the ladder at the club.
Ladder?
Yes, the tennis ladder at the club.
You know?
Our club. He's top of the ladder.
Swinging forehand. Literally swinging.
Well, actually, he is, in fact, a totally accomplished all-round athlete.
Doesn't he jump for the army?
You must be so proud.
Such a long time,
Such a long time.
isn't it?
Oh, yes. Ages.
You're looking as beautiful as ever.
So are you.
Me? Not me.
Oh, you are. Well, in a manner of speaking.
What do you mean, in a manner of speaking?
Oh, I meant you look as beautiful as ever.
Yeah, but I never was beautiful. In any way.
No, that's true. You weren't. In any way at all. I've been talking shit. In a manner of speaking.
Your language was always deplorable.
Yes. Appalling.
Are you enjoying the party?
Best party I've been to in years.
You said your husband died.
My what?
Your husband.
Oh, my husband. Oh, yes. That's right. He died.
Was it a long illness?
Short.
Ah. Quick, then.
Quick, yes. Short and quick.
Better that way.
Really?
I would have thought.
I see, yes. Better for who?
What?
You said it would be better. Better for who?
For you.
Yes. I'm glad you didn't say him.
Well, I could say him. A quick death must be better than a slow one. It stands to reason.
No, it doesn't. Anyway. I bet it can be quick and slow at the same time. Oh, I bet it can. I bet death can be both things at the same time. Oh, by the way, he wasn't ill.
You're still very beautiful.
I think there's something going on in the street.
What?
I think there's something going on in the street.
Leave the street to us.
Who's us?
Oh, just us. You know.
God, your looks. No, seriously. You're still so handsome. How do you do it? What's your diet? What's your regime? What is your regime, by the way? What do you do to keep yourself so, I don't know, so trim, so fit?
I lead a clean life.
Do you, too?
Do I what?
Fred says he looks so fit and so handsome because he leads a clean life. What about you?
I lead an incredibly clean life. It doesn't make me handsome, but it makes me happy.
And it makes me happy too. So happy.
Even though I'm not handsome.
But you are. You are. Isn't he? He is. You are. Isn't he?
When we were first married, we lived in a two-roomed flat. I'll be frank, I was a traveller. A commercial traveller. A salesman. It's true. That's what I was, and I don't deny it. And travel I did, didn't I? Travel I did, because my little girl here had given birth to twins. Can you believe it? Twins. I had to slave my guts out, I can tell you. But this girl here, this little girl here, do you know what she did? She looked after those twins all by herself. No maid, no help, nothing. She did it herself. All by herself. And when I got back from my travelling, I would find the flat immaculate, the twins bathed and in bed, tucked up, in bed, fast asleep, my wife looking beautiful, and my dinner in the oven. And that's why we're still together. That's why we're still together.
The thing is, it is actually real value for money. Now, this is a very, very unusual thing. It's an extremely unusual thing these days to find you're getting real value for money. And you take your hand out of your pocket and you put your money down and you know what you're getting. And what you're getting is absolutely gold-plated service. Gold-plated service in all departments. And you've got real catering. You've got catering on all levels. Well, you've not only got very good catering in itself, you know, food, that kind of thing, and napkins, you know, all that wonderful first rate. You've also got artistic catering. You actually have an atmosphere in this club which is catering artistically for its clientele. I'm referring to the kind of light, the kind of paint, the kind of music the club offers. Just talking about a truly warm and harmonious environment. You won't find voices raised in our club. People don't do vulgar and sordid and offensive things. And if they do, we kick them in the balls and chuck them down the stairs with no trouble at all.
Can I subscribe to all that has just been said?
Oh.
I would like to subscribe to all that has just been said. I would like to add my voice. I have belonged to many tennis and swimming clubs. Many tennis and swimming clubs. And at some of these clubs, I first met some of my dearest friends. All of them are now dead. Every friend I ever had or ever met is dead. They're all of them dead. Every single one of them. Absolutely not one left. None are left. Nothing is left. What was it all for? The tennis and the swimming clubs. What was it all for? What? But the clubs died too. And rightly so. I mean, there is a distinction to be made. My friends went the way of all flesh, and I don't regret their passing. They weren't my friends anyway. I couldn't stand half of them. But the clubs died. The swimming and the tennis clubs died because they were based on ideas which had no moral foundation. No moral foundation whatsoever. But our club is a club which is activated, which is inspired by a moral sense, a moral awareness, a set of moral values which is, I have to say, unshakable, rigorous, fundamental, constant.
Yes, I'm terribly glad you've said all that. Aren't you?
First rate.
So moving. Absolutely right.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
Right on a nail.
Spot on. So true.
Great.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Terrific. Absolutely first rate.
Yes, it was first rate. And it desperately needed saying. And how splendid that it was said tonight at such an enjoyable party in such congenial company. I must say I speak as a very happy host. Oh, and by the way, I'll really have to join this wonderful club of yours, won't I?
You're elected forthwith. You're an honorary member as of today.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, I believe one or two of our guests encountered traffic problems on their way here tonight. I apologize for that, but I would like to assure you that all such problems and all related problems will be resolved very soon. Between ourselves, we've had a bit of a roundup this evening. This roundup is coming to an end. In fact, normal services will be resumed shortly. That is, after all, our aim. Normal service. We, if you like, insist on it. We will insist on it. We do. That's all we ask. That the service this country provides will run on normal, secure, and legitimate paths, and that the ordinary citizen be allowed to pursue his labours and his leisure in peace. Thank you all so much for coming here tonight. It's been really lovely to see you. Quite smashing. Oh, champagne. Here we
Sometimes I hear things. Then it's quiet. I had a name. It was Jimmy. People called me Jimmy. That was my name. Sometimes I hear things. Then everything is quiet. When everything is quiet, I hear my heart. When the terrible noises come, I don't hear anything. Don't hear, don't breathe, I'm blind. Then everything is quiet. I hear a heartbeat. It is probably not my heartbeat. It is probably someone else's heartbeat. What am I? Sometimes the door bangs. I hear voices. Then it stops. Everything stops. It all stops. It all closes. It closes down. It shuts. It all shuts. It shuts down. It shuts. I see nothing at any time anymore. I sit, sucking the dark. It's what I have. The dark is in my mouth, and I suck it. It's the only thing I have. It's mine. It's my own. I suck it.